Hey, Talk Stars, I got a real great holiday treat for you today. Thanks again for taking time to join me today. Huge shout out to those who have already subscribed. If you haven't, don't forget to hit that subscribe button over there so you don't miss out on any of the new videos. You can also give me a thumbs up, share the video, or drop any questions and comments for me down below. Whether you love it or hate it, the elf on the shelf is now a holiday staple and shows no signs of going anywhere. But did you know that you can use that naughty little elf to teach your child some communication skills? These are going to be everyday activities that are fun and exciting and engaging for your child, making it really easy for them to do, for you to remember, and because it's fun, it sticks. You got to move them every day anyways. It's something you're already doing. So it's a great thing to use. I really want to make sure that I'm giving you things that you can use in activities you're already doing. I want to help you squeeze every single opportunity out of your day to interact with your kid and build those communication skills with them without even suspecting that they're working. So try these ideas with your kids and your pesky little elf, and stay tuned to the end for a little extra bonus to figure out how you can start doing this right away in your house. Number 1, questions. What a lot of parents don't necessarily realize is that there's actually a hierarchy, meaning easier and harder questions that you can ask your child. You ever wonder why they can't answer when you ask, why did you do that? Oftentimes it means they're too young or just developmentally not yet ready to answer a why question. Start with what, where, and who questions. So things like, what is the elf doing? What does he have in his hand? Who stole the cookie? Where is that elf? Where did Elfie go? Is he in the kitchen? Is he in the bathroom? When we're asking questions of our kids, we really want to keep those developmental levels in mind, knowing that what, where, and who are often the first 3 question forms that develop, followed by when, why, and how. So unless you know your child can answer when, why, and how questions, it's better to start with the other one. When you ask a question, it's really important that you give them time to think about the answer. As parents, often we want to fill in the blanks and we ask a question, and if our child doesn't answer right away, we ask the question again, or we rephrase it in a different way, or sometimes we even just answer it for them. I want you to really try to ask the question, think in your head, counting to at least 5, 10, 15 or more. You can usually tell if they've understood the question and if they're thinking. And if they're thinking, don't interrupt. When we interrupt when kids are thinking of their answer, it's like their brain was starting to process and it goes right back to square one when we interrupt and ask the question again. If your child still can't answer, we give them a model of what you can answer. Say, do you think Elfie's in the kitchen or in the backyard? Do you think he's on the counter or in the cupboard? Again, working to your child and what you know of your child because you're their expert. Number 2, location words. When we're talking about location words, there's another hierarchy that goes there. So some of the first ones that develop for children are words like in, on, and under. You can always add gestures. So in, on, and under. The next stage, next to, in back of, in front of, and between. Then the last ones that tend to come out are things like behind and below. So you can talk about where your elf is. Is he in the tree? Did he climb up the tree? Is he hiding behind the cushions? Is he in the sink having a bath? And as you hear me talking about in the bath, in the cupboard, behind, I'm emphasizing those location words that I want the child to learn. Number 3, memory and recall. I love encouraging parents to take pictures of things that they're doing with their child. There's so many things you can do once you've got those pictures. Take a picture of your elf every day. You can go through your phone talking about all of the things that happened in past days. You can even use those pictures, send them to friends and family, and have your child talk about what happened and where the elf was, and then they can show the picture to their family member, grandparent. If you've got access to a printer, you can print out those pictures and put them in a little scrapbook. Kids love looking at images of things that are familiar and exciting to them. Number 4, making predictions, inferencing, and reasoning. I like to think about this as thinking questions. You might ask, what do you think? Why do you think? How do you think he got in there? Asking those thinking questions, there's no right answer. And it's okay to make a guess. Number 5, sequencing, storytelling, and vocabulary. There's some great ways that you can do this. The vocabulary, there are companies out there now that even sell prop kits. You can have your elf set out a simple recipe for the supplies and steps to making hot chocolate and instructions for following a really simple craft. Take pictures at various stages of the setup, elf moving through to get to that end position where your child found it. You can print them out and have your child try to figure out first, the elf did this, then the elf did that, and then the elf went here. Number 6, speech sounds. This might be one of the easier ones to work on with your elf because it just incorporates the props or the location. The biggest challenge for you as a parent to train your brain to think about sounds, not letters. So, for instance, if your child is working on the k sound, having the elf do various different things with a cat or a cookie might be a good way of doing it. If your child is working on that sound, you could have your elf doing something with cereal or in the sink or playing soccer or having a sip of hot chocolate. You put your elf in a position where they're in a location or have a prop that has your child's target sounds in there. Your child is going to be very motivated to tell anybody who's willing to listen about what Elfie was up to that day. And it gives you another opportunity to encourage and model that speech sound for them. Social skills. There are a lot of naughty elves out there, so you can have a lot of conversations about naughty versus nice. What does naughty mean? Naughty might be a new vocabulary word. Is it the same as bad? Is it tricky? You can also talk about expected or unexpected. You can also talk about when you're working on prediction, you can talk about smart guess and wacky guess. How did the elf get to the top of the tree? Did he run and jump up there or did he climb? You can also use the elf to talk about perspective taking, starting to understand that different people can have different thoughts and different feelings about the exact same situation. While your child might think that the elf was really funny for doing something, you might be able to say, I don't think that was funny. I think that was naughty. And you're showing that you can have different perspectives about the exact same thing. Make sure, if you haven't already, that you hit that subscribe button. I've got more links down below in the video description for you to find me over on socials. And if you go and visit me over on talkstarkids.com, you can sign up for the email newsletter and get a freebie that it goes into a little bit more detail about some of the ideas that you can do with your elf and your child to build your language skills. Have a great day, Talk Stars. Happy holidays.